The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, episode number 348. Tonight's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. And remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com for all their great articles and other podcasts, such as the newest member of the Belly Up Media Network, the New Era Sends podcast, to everything the Ottawa Senators for your listening needs. And thank you from all of us here at the 1420 World Headquarters for everything. You guys listen to us every day and read all the articles on there. And we are joined tonight by newly publicized author and co-host of the 1420 podcast, Dave Van Robeys. Dave, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing okay. I would hardly call myself a publicized thing. I've had some tweets retweeted. I've been in 3 lines free in the university newspaper, and that's where about the publication goes.
Well, every journey begins with a single step, and I thought your article was it wasn't long, but it was quite insightful. It's who you are. You got to the nuts and bolts of the thing. I quite got a kick out of that the whole thing. I read it last night, then put some pictures to it this morning for the 1420sportsbar.com earlier on today. So thanks very much for doing it. It was really good.
Well, you're welcome. I'm here for the team, and I asked what I could do to help, and you said, "How about putting something together?" So I'm going to try and make a regular habit of contributing to our
endeavor.
What we're putting out, to our endeavor.
The Dave, I was out your neck of the woods. I think it was last night. I think it was on. I think what is it 9th? No, 13th Ave. 13th Ave.
Well, 13th Street.
13th Street there, and there's somebody who really, really likes Christmas.
That big old house.
Yeah. There's something going on there, and I'm a Christmas guy myself. I have not heard the Mariah thing yet. It's a few days away from that all going on, but man, oh man, that dude likes himself some Christmas.
We're talking about the house with the train sitting up,
the stuff and the things and.
That's been forever. That's been since before we moved here. They got a team, and I completely agree. If this is your thing and this is what you want to do, it's ridiculous. It's over the top. It's right Chevy Chasey Christmas Vacation when it's all said and done.
Not as gaudy. Like there's some thought going into that.
Oh, without a doubt. But when it's all done, said wait till it's all done and you drive by in the middle of the night. Like it's like the neighbors cannot be too happy with that kind of shit coming through their windows.
I'm usually around December 1 when we do stuff around World Headquarters here, and I like you see people here and there putting stuff up, and me and Deanne were talking about yesterday where we drove by that place, and I was like, hey, if that's the outside of your house, what's the inside look like? And like we all have our space inside our houses, right? And all of a sudden, if you enclose that space, something you're not used to for 11 months of the year or 11 and a half months of the year, like when you put something up early, all of a sudden your space it closes in on you, and all of a sudden you're bumping into this. You're not bumping it, but you know what I mean? Like
you have less space.
You have less space because there's a tree and there's this and there's that and there's
and now the chair that used to be where the
chair used to be here. You had to put the trees there and the stereo's there and the TV moves.
Oh yeah.
Like when is the opportune time at the Van Robeys / King household to put stuff up to make sure, because you guys have been there a long time, so you probably have it down to a science by now, I would assume. Like when does Kaylee say, I'm doing it? And when does Dave say, okay, honey, we're doing it?
First week of December, we are 4, maybe 5 weeks where it's up. First week is December, last week of, and first week of January. We've taken shit down before New Year's Day before. If we're all home and nothing to do, let's rip this shit down.
Well, we're Orthodox here, so we keep it up till at least the 8th of January. It's one of those things. It's always been one of those things. Hey, how was your anniversary dinner?
The anniversary dinner was nice. We went to Tacos Made in Mexico.
Yeah.
It was good, not great, and I'll leave it at that. But it was a night away, just the wife and I. Both of us still getting over this fucking head cold, and so we had a nice evening together.
Yeah. No, I felt something kind of getting a little growly in my head yesterday as well, and everything. It's just it was an odd. Yeah, this is what. It might be cold, but it might not. I don't know, but just something not. I haven't been 100% pure in about a week and a half.
Yeah, I'm around the same. I just cannot clear my sinuses. I am a snot factor. If we could ever find something that snot can help the world with, I got a lot of it. So I'll
I've
give it to you.
I've always been amazed once a person gets a cold, how much mucus and snot the human body can produce. It's unbelievable to me.
It is unbelievable. Like, I must have blown 30, 40
I
snot
don't
rods.
lose a pound, but there's just a constant fucking volcano of lava coming out of my snout.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, it's like wallpaper paste. Like, there's got to be a use for this kind of stuff. Like, you can use it for glue.
Dave, we all knew what was happening, no matter what it was going to come down to. It was announced earlier in this before the baseball season started that the Oakland A's were going to be looking for different pastures, and then it came out mid-season that Las Vegas was the destination of choice, and a lot of stuff went on behind the scenes. We won't bore people with that, but it was announced today that all the Major League Baseball owners approved the sale or the relocation, the relocation of the Oakland A's to Las Vegas. Shortly thereafter, the owner, I don't know what his name is. I don't care what his name is. He sent out a quote unquote heartfelt message email to the fans of the Oakland A's. I still get those emails because I bought Oakland A's tickets on oaklanda's.com many years ago, and I got the update that came through there. I tried to cancel it numerous times, it just doesn't go away. But is a relocation like this? It can't be good for professional sports for smaller markets.
Not at all. Because all like the baseball owners, I think they're okay with it, even though I don't understand why they're not charging them a relocation fee. That should be a couple $100 million, because that would de-incentivize a guy to tank his team like he did in Oakland to move it to Las Vegas. Like, it's whatever. Like Las Vegas, I think you read the same article I did, where Las Vegas is the 40th TV market size in the US, and you're moving away from Oakland, which is top 10. Don't make sense. And then, there was money on the table for him to contribute and make an arena in Oakland. And he said no. And now he shit cans his team and moves it to Vegas. And the only reason owners might want to do that is so now Oakland is a place. So when it's time to hold a gun to the local tax base in their state/city, well, then we're just going to move to Oakland and take the deal that Tight Fist never took, and when he moved to Vegas.
The thing I hate about it so much is that Oakland, they did have some lean years, and they always have. Like, even when they're in their glory years, they weren't packing the place, and they played in an awful stadium, and they never gave the fans a reason to climb around it. And there was times when the Oakland A's were really good, and there was still no one in the building. And I get it, because I've been to Oakland a few times, and the place is it's a dump. But you know what? It was their dump. The guy, the owner, never ever once tried to do anything more than put lipstick on a pig with that stadium. And that's something that bothers me a lot, is that this guy owns a professional franchise and never ever once really was treated it as a professional franchise. And to be able to just cash checks the way he was doing for a lot of years, and then you get some great talent, like you look over to just like the years. You go back to those 2000 teams, the Moneyball years, where all those guys who were part of that Moneyball team, the Giambis, the Mulder, the Hudson, the on and on it goes. And you look back at Ricky Henderson, how many times he came and went. They never Oakland, I don't think ever really tried to be the Oakland did, but the Oakland A's franchise never really tried to be big.
No, after the McGuire and Canseco years, no, that was the last time, because they were super good and powerful there for a good 5-year stretch, like with Ricky, with Mark McGuire, with Jose Canseco,
Dave Stewart, Dennis Eckersley, and on it went.
yeah. Rick Honeycutt, I believe, was on that staff.
He was there for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, like they were really good, and they were there all. I think they played in 2 or 3 World Series. They lost to Cincinnati.
They lost Cincinnati. They lost to Jays in the ALCS.
They beat San Fran in the earthquake year.
In the earthquake, 89, yeah.
Yeah. And so they were there all the time. But you're right, after that, they didn't give a shit. And the owner, like, I would like to know why owners would let him move, because they're revenue sharing with him already, because he's a have-not, because of blah blah and shitty fans and stuff like that, and now move to the smallest TV market with the smallest barn. So all you're doing is you're going to be literally forking over more money to this asshole who left because the city wouldn't build him an arena, and now it's coming out of your pocket. You're the other 27 owners. It's coming out of your pocket. I don't understand the logic of this entire thing. Letting a guy take a complete pass for running a shit franchise.
Like you look at how Vegas, the Golden Knights have been successful because they had an owner that went out to win, and they went out and won right now, and they circumvented some rules, and they found the GM Kelly McCrimmon of Brandon Wheat Kings fame. He figured some things out and went behind closed doors, not behind closed doors, but he knew some ins and outs and figured things out. So the Golden Knights were successful from day one because of the way the expansion draft happened. They got some good players in. Marc-Andre Fleury, I was going to almost say Theoren Fleury. Thank God he wasn't there, because then who knows how it would have went. But you had Marc-Andre Fleury as the face of the franchise. Now you're moving a Oakland A's team to a city that it hasn't had a history of a long illustrious baseball history. Now you're moving Oakland A's team, who's downright terrible, like actually terrible. And so who's going to be the guy they're going to put on the billboards and the kids? Now you have a team that's not going to win in the foreseeable future, because I think they're in Oakland next year and probably the year after, and who knows how that's going to turn out with the building.
I actually think they're playing in Vegas's AAA, like in the AAA barn.
Not next year, the year after, I think. Yeah.
Oh, so they got one more year in
Oakland. I believe. I could be wrong 100%. If I'm wrong, you guys can at me on that. But you don't have anybody right now. Like the Golden Knights had Fleury, and they were highly successful, went to the finals in their first year. And then football is football, and then the Oakland Raiders moved to Las Vegas as well. But Raiders fans can travel one day a week. They can jump on a Allegiant Airlines, go from LAX for the old LA Raiders fans, or from Oakland, and they can be in LA, hop back on a bird and go home, or stay in Vegas for a weekend. So you already had that built-in fan base with those two teams, and Vegas is a tourist destination. But people who like baseball, they don't travel to watch a bad team. And I can't see people in like Oakland A's fans. Oakland A's fans weren't traveling across the city to watch the Oakland A's. They aren't traveling to Vegas to watch the Oakland A's. Is this going to be an absolute train wreck?
I don't understand how it can't be, because the Golden Knights, they have that thing, middle of winter, cold weather cities. Hey, let's the Buffalo Sabres are there on a Thursday night. Yeah, let's fly out Thursday morning, fly home on watch the Sabres, come home on Sunday afternoon, right? Like it's perfect for hockey, because it's in the middle of winter. Same with football. There's only 8 games, and I would say always a third of that stadium is visiting teams, whether it be AFC West or whether it be whoever, like Green Bay or whatever. Who doesn't want to go to Vegas and make a weekend with the boys to watch their team on the road. It's a blast. Middle of summer, outdoors for now 81 games. Who's going to do that? Like, who the fuck is going to do that? Why, if you're like, so now they're in the AL West, right? Oh, excuse me. Like, who's going to go and watch a game outdoors, which is from the article I read, they're going to be playing in an outdoor stadium for at least 3 years in Vegas. Who's going to want to sit outside in Vegas in the middle of July and August?
Deanna and I were in Vegas. I can't remember what year it was, 2017. I think it was down there. I think it was a Motley concert. I think it was. We were down there and some things going on. Whatever. We went to the Las Vegas minor league team. Went and watched them play, and it was hot. Like, it was hot. Like, and it was uncomfortable. Like, and I'm not one to shy away from the heat, but it was hot and gross, and it was not a good situation at all. And how they expect to put to break even, you got to be putting. I don't say break even. I don't know the finances how it all works, but to break even, if you're only getting 8,000 people in the 30,000 seat building at the best of times, once the other building's done, but people aren't going to watch. People don't go to baseball games in general when the teams aren't very good, let alone a team you don't have any ties to. Like, it's just one of those things.
The people of Las Vegas, I don't know where this fan base is coming from, but the people that live in Vegas, they don't want to be outside in the summer. Like, that's all there is to it. And I don't know how they're going to sell tickets to anybody.
Yeah, and that's just the thing with me and you sitting here. It's odd that we see that from here in our golden perches here in southern Alberta. We're like, yeah, it's not going to work. But like, there's got to be somebody who thinks it's going to. Like, and that's the thing that confuses me. And no one's really said anything. Like, no one's been overly. That yes, every major league owner agreed to it, but no one's been overly like, here's the pros for this. Like, nobody. Like, Oakland's been around for a long time, and they won some World Series back in the 70s. Reggie Jackson, Vida Blue, and who else is on those teams back in the day? And like we talked earlier with Ricky Henderson and Jose Canseco, and then on it goes. And they lick the jar every year, and they've had some good, like Billy Bean and the Moneyball eras and everything else. They've licked the jar a lot, but you're not going. I don't think you're going to get. You're not going to get Joe Baseball guy. Because Vegas is not a transient town, but it's a transient town. Like, you're not going to get a guy who moved from Chicago who's now working at Margaritaville in the Flamingo to go to a fucking baseball game in the dead of summer. You're just not. I think this is a huge miss on Major League Baseball's behalf. I don't know why. I don't know why they all think it's okay. Like, was it that bad in Oakland?
Everybody
good,
like I didn't read one thing that had a flattering word about that stadium they were playing in, and I think that was, everybody admitted that, all the players, the owners, everything.
Oh,
and now
the area was awful. It's all awful. It's awful.
And then, from what I understand, there was a proposal on the table that the owner walked away from, where the city was going to give considerable breaks to build a good stadium in downtown Oakland, which would be the thing, because, you know, Oakland has a reputation of being a pretty rough town. But at the end of the day, every huge city of the million plus people has people with a lot of money. Well, and they also have a trendy area, which is apparently where this new stadium was going to be, where the money is. And, you know, San Fran has some rough areas. Los Angeles has some rough areas. But you put that stadium in the right part of town, and it's going to start making a shit ton of money. And I don't know what area of Las Vegas. Like, I don't care if Las Vegas was number 10 on the TV market. Who in their right mind is going to sit outside in the middle of July in Vegas to watch a hockey
Like I said, like that day,
It's
like I said,
impossible.
me and Deanne went to the minor league game. That's 57s, I think it was, and it was uncomfortably hot, and it was a 2 in the afternoon game, and it was hot. Like, and I'm a sun worshiper. I don't mind the sun at all, and it was fucking grotesquely hot, and I don't know what their plan is. They're going to lose a bunch of money. Like I didn't read the entire article, or if they're going to be playing in Vegas this upcoming season, or they're going to wait till the new building's ready. But the new building hasn't even broke ground yet. So you're 3 years away from ending being a major league capacity. So then here's another point that I want to bring up, Dave. If you're 3 years away from playing in a major league facility, what are you going to have for free agents? Like, who's going to go there as a free agent? Say, yeah, I'll go to Vegas and play in the minor leagues in front of nobody, because half the fun of playing professional baseball, well, one is the great big paychecks, but who in their fucking right mind as an athlete is going to go, I'm going to spend the height of my career playing in a minor league ballpark when I've already done that for 3 or 4 years. I've been in the big leagues for 5 years. Why the fuck would I go and play in front of nobody? Because half the fun, because every athlete's an egomaniac, and they want to pat in the back and have people watching them, because that's half the fun of it. Like, let's not kid ourselves. What fucking free agent is going to, in the next 3 years, is going to sign with the Oakland / Las Vegas A's to go and play in front of nobody? Nobody,
Well,
not one.
how
So the team is inherently going to be worse when the new building's open.
How is that different than the way Oakland A's have been running
So
things
just
in
leave it.
Oakland, right? So just leave them there, and the only reason I can see that the owners voted to let this guy move his franchise to, aside from the state, well, like this new stadium, I think only holds 26,000 seats.
I thought 33,
So,
but yeah, same thing.
but nonetheless,
It's going to be the smallest. It's going to be the smallest building in Major League Baseball.
It's going to be a
seating capacity wise.
It's going to be a big hockey barn, right? That's essentially.
Yeah,
what
if
it
you put that in
is.
perspective, like I think the Montreal the Bell Center sees 22,000 for hockey, right? So,
And
like,
there's
33,000 isn't big for a baseball field. It's not.
There's no way the Las Vegas A's are going to be drawing 23,000 people a game.
No.
Impossible. And so the only reason the owners have done this is to open up the possibility for another owner to say, okay, like, I'm going to leave too. Like, they did it, and they went to a shitty, and they're making it work, but they're not going to make it work. And maybe the owners just want to have a smaller pie so they don't have to play the players that much. I really do think baseball owners are the most petty of them all. And at the end of the day, they're just going to be revenue sharing with Las Vegas, even more so than when it was Oakland. Like, once again, I would love to see that contract. Like, you have to spend X number on salary. This is how much you have to spend before you get any equalization payments or revenue sharing. It's gross that this guy shouldn't have a penalty of shit canning his own team over the past 10 years and then get to move it to where he wants to move it to get more welfare money from other owners. It's absolute fucking
And not
garbage.
just welfare money from other owners, but getting money from other communities and other taxpayers' dollars who don't give a fuck. So now you put on a group of people, and like, we're not like it politically here, but let's get political here. Now you have people in whatever Cook County or the fuck it is, they're out there in Las Vegas. Now they're on the hook because this cocksucker wanted to move, and he wasn't getting the deal he wanted somewhere else. So now this guy is going to have other taxpayers that he doesn't give a fuck about. This guy is going to have other taxpayers paying for a stadium that he's not paying $1 for. It smells of high heaven to me. It's gross. It's absolutely gross.
Yeah, and I like we said, I don't understand where the local fan base is going to come from. I can't believe they would have more than 12,000 season ticket holders. Like who in their right fucking mind is going to sit outside in August in Vegas
even when
anything?
the new building is going to have a roof on it, but even then, like when like people like I've been to Vegas like a number of times, and yeah, like I said, you have guys from people from Chicago, Cincinnati, fucking LA, wherever. If you're a fan of, especially, and baseball is one of those baseball is one of those sports that if you're a fan of a team, you don't just switch allegiances because of a new team in your town. Like if you move to a new town, you still put your Cubs hat on wherever town you're living in. Like it's not like you just can just transition and because baseball is such a traditional sport, and like dads and grandpas and now we're getting into great grandpas that my great grandpa was a fan of the Cubs, so I'm a fan of the Cubs. So guys aren't all of a sudden you're not putting on a Las Vegas A's hat because it's in your fucking city. You're just not. You're not.
And it's not going to be like the Raiders or the Golden Knights, whereas like if you're a Cubs fan or a Yankees fan, and it's 90 degrees in August in New York, you're not coming to escape to the 110 degrees in Vegas, right? Like I got AC here, and now I'm going to travel in this heat and like in cattle and go there. Like fuck. It's not going to be the road draw it is that the Knights and the Raiders are.
No, it's not like Edmonton here, like where we are in Calgary, like the two Alberta teams. They take like you said earlier on. You're getting that weekend away on a Saturday night. Yeah, we'll take a weekend from Edmonton. We'll play Edmonton and the travel companies. Everything else is making money, right? The travellady.com, wherever the fuck, is saying, yeah, we have these travel packages ready to go. Edmonton, watch the Edmonton Oilers play the Vegas Golden Knights on a Saturday night in January. Sign me the fuck up. I get out of the cold. Not that it's warm ish, but it's nice, right? It's not 40 below in Edmonton in Vegas in January, right? So there's tours available. You ain't getting the fucking tour buses and the tour planes, everything. You're just not. Like it's such a swing and a miss baseball term there. It's such a swing and a miss that I don't know why that me and you, I'm sure we're not the only ones, but how me and you are the only ones who fucking see it. I just don't understand it.
And then as an owner, a lot of these owners, when they get their stadium deals, they start developing the entertainment district. Like you talk about Wrigleyville, how cool that is.
Well,
apparently,
you talked in San Francisco when they built Pac Bell Park, whatever it's called now, AT&T. That place was desolate there. Now it is it's thriving. It is I've been there 2 or 3 times. It is fantastic. Vegas already has that, so that owner can't make money off it.
That's the fucking town. There is no secondary entertainment district. The goddamn
I heard
town.
where the old Tropicana is. That's where they're going to do it. Right across the MGM, so it's busy. Right across is fucking Excalibur, so it's already busy. Right across the other side is New York, so it's already busy. No one's benefiting from this team going there. Nobody. Nobody.
In fact, I got to believe the casinos might be even a little bit pissed because it's drawing people away from the tables, right? Like put that someplace else because we want people going to shows and sitting at the tables. They're not spending money at our fucking business.
I don't understand.
And summer's the lean years anyways. We want them inside in air conditioned comfort, sipping on margaritas and playing mahjong.
Yeah. They like this is the first one that like there's been a few teams in our recent history. You look at the Winnipeg Jets; they moved to Phoenix, and that was a bit of a backhanded deal. It probably didn't need to happen because look how it turned out in Phoenix. And the Montreal Expos moved to Washington eventually. And is this going to, because money has gotten so, and I fucking hate it. Money has gotten so grotesque in the world of professional sports. Is this the last time we're going to see this happen? And what's one team you can think that might be looking to, maybe I can move over here and the owner might make a little bit more money? Because I actually hate. I hate it's every fucking time we get together on Mondays and Thursdays here in the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. Money comes up and I hate it but it's so massive and these owners have so much money and there's such a disparity between the haves and the have-nots throughout the world. Is there going to be another team that you can see in your head that goes, you know what, I can pull this shit too?
Like the first thing that comes to mind is Tampa Bay, but apparently they got a new deal to rebuild a stadium, but in the same spot. Like, so I don't know who has sway there. It doesn't make sense to me how they draw so bad, even though they're competitive, and they have not good attendance. They don't have a rabid fan base, and they get to stay there. This summer I read an article. I want to say it was a team that actually surprised me. It was like Milwaukee, I believe, was actually starting to saber rattle because they wanted to build a new stadium because they're not happy with.
And that place was not even 30 years old.
No, I don't think it's. I think it's right around the same kind of time frame as that Pittsburgh park that everybody brags about. But when an owner wants a new barn and they're not getting the deal they want from the state or the city council, that's what you do. You threaten to move. Like, fucking beat it. Because what are you gonna do there? Like, you're moving and then it shows you how little the owners care. Because let's pretend the owner of Milwaukee wants to move to Salt Lake City. Really, you're bringing your fan base? Like, there's no fan base there.
None.
You're gonna have people that want to go to a game.
I'm glad you brought those ones up, because for forever, like, I'm a bit fucking baseball dork. Fucking, there's no getting around that. Like, forever, there's always been a relocation to Portland. It's never happened. Because why? Because the fans wouldn't care. Like, forever, Portland's got to get a baseball team. No, they're not. Like, send Milwaukee to Portland. No one's going to go. Baseball, and we talked about this 1,000 times. Baseball is such a regional sport, and their fan base is built in. It's built in. Like, the Jays are lucky that they're in Canada, because in 1978, when they were their inaugural season, that was a built-in fan base. Like, you had, at that point, it was 25 million people, whatever the population of our country is now. It's a built-in fan base. You are not moving a Major League Baseball team anywhere and building a fan base. You're just not. You're not.
I have no idea unless they actually go to Mexico, like Mexico City. I can see that's what that would be the place I would want to move to, but I'm sure someone's tried to mention that, because then you would have a built-in fan base and you would have a rabid fan base, and then it's not that far away. It's not. It's like flying to Winnipeg, but Sorry, go ahead.
Actually, I'm glad you brought this good segue. I'm glad you brought Winnipeg up. Winnipeg's having some attendance troubles right now. 11,000 people a night, not going so well. There's some. I read a lot of stuff on this with the Jets, their ownership group, and people during COVID, they found some different things to do, and then money, it's tight and everything else, and the team didn't win. Like, Nash and Winnipeg moved from Atlanta, and they lost the Jets to Arizona back in 1990, 96 or 97, I think it was. Like, is there a chance you think that the Jets could leave Winnipeg again?
I'm not saying it's impossible, but I will say this: the owner is committed to keep that team in Winnipeg, and the owner's a billionaire. He doesn't.
Billionaires like money, right? That's how they become billionaires.
That is how they become billionaires, and maybe he's doing it for the write-off. I do not know, because he didn't have to. If he was looking to make more money in sports, he would not have brought that team back to Winnipeg. There's no way. Like, he would have done something else if that was his primary concern, was to make money through a hockey franchise. Never say never, but I can't see Winnipeg moving. And I still don't know what the fuck they're going to do with this Arizona franchise. They still don't have a solution. They're playing in a 3,000 seat arena. It's
4,500, but yeah, it's not massive. Like, it's a sports.
It's just Yes, it's just a novelty act now. Like, come and see, like, the novelty act, and that's what we're doing here. We're talking about possibly relocating Winnipeg, which I get it. It doesn't make as much money, and like if I was just saying how Las Vegas is the 40th size TV market in the States. Where does Winnipeg sits? Like we're looking like
They're the
triple
40th
digits.
fucking TV market in Canada, let alone fucking United States. Yeah.
No shit. Like I don't know anybody that might have. Like I don't even know if you can call that a media market. But nonetheless, where was I? I was bitching about Arizona, wasn't I? Like what? Like what are you gonna do with that team? Like have a fucking clue. Like I just the other owners there has to come a point when the other owners say I am sick and fucking tired of writing welfare checks to these owners. Like move that goddamn team.
That's a good point, Dave. Like you fucking look at like how much over the years, how much revenue sharing money the Yankees, and like I'm obviously I'm a Yankee fan, and it's ridiculous the money they spend on just their payroll. But you think about the amount of money that fucking the Steinbrenners have been putting out year after year after year to every fucking team. And wouldn't you think Hal be like, you know what? Enough's enough, man. Like, fuck off. Like, you shouldn't be able to make money when your team stinks. Like, you shouldn't be able to. Like, I'm paying more, which is it's a Yankee thing. As obviously, it's more their problem than the other teams. I'm paying more for 2 to 3 players than you're paying for your entire fucking roster. Like, wouldn't you think that the heavy hitters at these ownership meetings, at these owners meetings just went on last week? Wouldn't you think, okay, listen, enough's enough, man. Yes, I'm still making money, but I want to make more. And why am I giving you money to not even try? Because Oakland didn't even try. Then
Came and asked like if you guys can move vote so we can move to a fucking smaller market where we have no fan base and we have no chance of drawing fans, and a sellout is 30,000. So like is there any chance?
Say that like I should have wrote that down. Say that again. You have no chance of a sellout. Go ahead. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Well, you're paying me to you're allowing me to move to a smaller TV market with no fan base, and on best like a sellout's only 30,000 people. Like how the fuck am I going to contribute to your war chest? You're not. Your war chest is going to help me because I'm not getting 30,000. I'm going to get 8,000, and I'm going to be cashing checks with your name on it, fucking Hal. So that's what I'm doing.
No,
you know what sounds good to me. I'll vote. You can move. I'll vote. You can move. Like I don't fucking get it. These guys, like we always say, they became billionaires one way or another, and it's because they like money and they know how to make money. But then why are they fucking propping up other billionaires by running a fucking shitty side business? Right?
Like, I think we first talked about this back when the rumors first came out. We'll get off this in this segment in a second here, but I think we talked about it a while ago when it first came out that the A's were planning on moving to Vegas, and we were both like, "Okay, that's fine, 100%." But Joey, the owner, you can't own this team anymore. You have to sell this team, sell the franchise to somebody else because you obviously couldn't make it work. We're not going to give you a second chance for being a failure. Because when you're a if you own a McDonald's isn't going to give you a fucking second chance on Scenic Drive if you fucked up that one. They're not giving you a chance on that. Like, oh well, we'll try again. So why Major League Baseball doesn't say you can profit out because you're the guy who invested in the team, you're the guy who paid the money originally to buy it, but you know what? It's still a franchise, and you failed. Take your gain, your pluses or minuses, and get the fuck out because you failed as an owner. You couldn't make it in a place that we thought you could, that you said you could, and you didn't do it. So you know what? Fuck off and stay fucked off.
At absolute minimum of a fairly punitive relocation fee. If this is such a better place, you're going to want to come up with $600 million. or we're not going to give you any equalization payments for 10 years. Like, get your own fucking skin in the game here, asshole. As opposed to keep walking around putting your hand in my pocket at owners' meetings. Get fucked. You fuck this team, right? You know, I get it. All these most 90% of these stadiums are paid for by city, state money. But if you can't work your own deal, like, don't expect me to get off my wallet so you can fucking move your shit ass team to a shit ass.
Yeah, it
city.
costs him money. I get it, but I'm not an accountant by any means. But I'm going to guarantee you, whoever this fucking guy in Oakland is, he didn't lose money.
Right. You know, make it work then. Make it work. I'll vote for you, but you make it work. You don't get one fucking thin dime of equalization payments for 10 years. Because if this is a bitter market, fucking prove it.
Make it work on your own.
Make it work on your own.
I've been giving you a lot of money for a lot of years because I don't think people understand. Like, yes, the Yankees and the Mets, they make a lot of money. They spend a lot of money. I get that. But people don't get that not every fucking hat that gets sold, not every jersey gets sold, not everything that gets sold on MLB.com that goes to the big teams goes to the big teams. That gets split around every fucking team. Every team. Like, the Yankees sell 10 million hats a year. The Yankees don't make every penny off those 10 million hats.
That gets divided by 30.
It gets divided up 30 even fucking ways. So these fucking guys who do absolutely nothing to make their teams better are getting nothing but paychecks. And then this cocksucker gets to fucking move to Vegas because it might be better. What if it's not? It gets to move again? Where's he going next? Fucking Tempe? Where's he going next?
I don't see how it's going to be better. Yeah. Well, you can't go to Tempe, but like Salt Lake City is the name I'm hearing all the time. Right? So, I don't know. Fucking loser.
Salt Lake and Portland. Forever. There's a reason why they haven't went to Salt Lake and Portland forever, because you know what? It's not going to fucking work. They've been talking about those guys.
Doesn't care. Yeah.
Dave, we've been around a long time. The Calgary Cannons used to be on 2-7 TV.
With the Portland Beavers, wasn't that it?
The Portland Beavers. They talked. These would be great Major League Baseball cities. This was 35 years ago. 40 years ago, they were talking about those guys being Major League Baseball teams, Major League Baseball cities. You know what? They're still not. Because you know why? They're not. Simple. There's only this many cities who can have Major League Baseball teams. And for Vegas, for this guy to think Vegas is going to work, it's not. It's going to be worse. It's going to be actually worse.
Yeah, I don't see how Vegas is going to work. I simply don't. There's, like, even with a covered stadium, people aren't going to Vegas in the summer to go to a goddamn baseball game.
Not for 1 second.
Zero chance. Zero chance.
You might get the odd boost for the Cubs for 1 weekend. You might get the odd boost for the Yankees for a weekend. You might get the Toronto boost for a weekend. But you ain't getting people from fucking Arizona, because you ain't getting people from fucking
you ain't getting season ticket holders.
Okay, here it is.
Right?
In the division, people from fucking Texas aren't going. People from Houston aren't going because it's just as hot down there. Why the fuck do you go to Vegas? It's more expensive. Why?
Yeah, and you don't have season seats. Yep. Unless the wife wants to go to the Celine Dion show. I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. I have no idea what the draw is to go to Vegas in the middle of summer.
Have you ever seen Celine Dion in concert?
No.
I did once. 1994. There
on
was
purpose?
No. What happened was there was it was a thing called it was a Canadian. Every Canadian band you could absolutely imagine was playing in that place outside of High River.
Another roadside attraction?
Something like that. Whatever. It was one of those things. And Celine Dion was a headliner on Saturday night. And this was before she hit it really big. It was actually pretty good.
I'll take your word for it. She was headlining at an outdoor
Saturday night. Just Saturday night. Because it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then it went into Monday. And it was a fun event. There's no getting around that. There was a situation. People who are outside of Canada listening to this won't have any idea what I'm talking about. But there was on the Sunday night. Tom Cochran headlined on Sunday night, Life is a Highway back when that was a popular song back then. And he was hammered drunk. And we were in the like 4 or 5 rows in the stage. And 4 or 5 rows in the stage, and Terry David Mulligan from MTV or Much Music, went on stage and said, "Where's the party?" And my buddy, Fifth Street or whatever, because the campground was separated into streets and avenues, right? So Terry David Mulligan said on 7th Avenue and 5th Street or whatever it was. And before we knew it, our campsite was absolutely packed with people. It was unbelievable. It was one of those like 1990. Yeah, it was not 94. Yeah,
Was it a good pact or was it like a holy fuck?
It was a really good pack. We had a good time. It was a really good time. Yeah. TDM actually showed up on a golf cart and everything else, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, so I have seen Celine Dion live, but I don't think I'd pay money to see her again.
No, does she still? I think she still has a residency in Vegas, doesn't she? Like her and Brittany and.
I think it's shut down for a little bit. I think she's back and singing "My Heart Will Go On" or whatever it is.
She knows how to make a buck. I gotta tip my hat to that. And
if I could have done that, I would have. But I got the voice of a fucking frog, so it's one of those things.
Well, I just need someone to write me some hits and let the auto-tune engineers do that.
I think that, you know what, Dave? AI
is gonna write us a hit.
AI will put their voice, like we say a lot of smart things. AI is going to make us billionaires.
Well, here we go. Like to put subliminal messages into the thing to get.
I think people are sick of our voices. They want to hear our thoughts. They don't want to hear our voices, and that's bad for a couple of guys on radio.
Well, we do what we can. All we can do is put it out there, and you just put it in your ear holes and enjoy.
There it is. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beers worth sports talking a whole lot more. This segment is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420POD at SeatGeek.com today. My Heart Will Go On. What's your favorite Celine Dion song? You must have one.
Isn't that the only one? Like, or the what's the like? I would know him to hear him. What's the Titanic song? Is that the My Heart Will Go On?
My Heart Will Go On, yeah.
Yeah, well, there. Fuck, that's mine. Fuck, Celine. She has good pipes, but I don't dig on her.
She needs to have a hamburger now and then.
Well, she's one thin thing. She is one thin thing.
She is. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 beer sports talking a whole lot more. Dave, the team that's not near and dear to your heart, but a team that you listen to, the guys that were at Barn Burner a lot, they're struggling. They're not winning anything anytime soon by any means. The Calgary Flames are probably should be leaning to rebuild mode. It hasn't been announced yet, but they have some high-end. They have some high-end free agents that are going to, and this is funny that you have a high-end free agent when your team's in last place, but you have some guys that can be, some teams might want to go out and grab them. And if you kind of announce that you have a rebuild going on, and you're kind of putting the for sale sign on not on the front lawn, but it's just on your front step a little bit. And Nikita Zadorov, I think his name is, he announced last week he told the Flames he wanted to trade. Dave, when your team is in quasi rebuild mode, or let's say, you know what, fuck it, we're in rebuild mode, is it better to sell now rather than later?
Completely up to how the team's doing on the ice. Up to the player, about the age of the player, as to the injury history of the player. It's been shown that in the NHL, the return on your trades are going to be highest the closer to trade deadline you get. So that, as a GM, is when you want to start getting, like, well, not start, that's when you have to offload, but that's when you're going to get the best price. But then you also run the risk, if you're in the Flames position, I want to say there's 6 guys that are on expiring contracts. you got to get what you can for these guys. And if someone's coming knocking on the door on Christmas Day, you answer the fucking door and say, what are you asking? Like, what do you want? How much are you giving me back? Because do you know what's going to fuck them even more? These guys getting injured. And then now you're injured. Are you going to, you're not going to trade an injured player, and injuries happen all the time. It's the worst thing that can fuck up anyone's career season.
Wow.
It can fuck a team season. It can fuck a guy's free agent season. If it happens in the first year of a 5-year deal, what's the big deal? You got 4 more years to get paid that much money. It happens in your free agent year, then you just cost yourself, that injury just cost you $10 million.
Well, they get paid insurance and everything else, but yeah,
but in your next contract, that's what I meant for the
I'm
player.
glad you brought that
like,
up.
Nobody
about,
wins
about getting hurt, but for the team, and that's and the on the other side of it is that these players are, when they're in a contract year, like let's say Chris Tanev is one guy for the Flames that is in a contract year, and he's going to want to. He's going to want to give her shit and get the another contract and see what he can up his dollar value. So the problem you got if you're a team that's not going to win, if things have gone a bit sideways for the Flames, we've talked about it before with how bad Huberdeau is, and they just haven't got off to a good start. It's not over yet, but like if you have a team that is underperforming, you know that these free agent guys like Tanev, I said there, and they're going to want to put out a little bit harder. So all of a sudden they might win a few games because their wins above replacement will go to a baseball terminology there. They're going to play a little bit harder to try to win some hockey games because they're still trying to get a contract. So is it not in that team's best interest once you see that you're not winning a Stanley Cup or you're not winning a round? Because every team, I think that most teams know they're not winning, but you win a round, you win 2 rounds. That's what most teams try to do. But when you are on that precipice of being kind of quasi-competitive, that we might make the playoffs, we might not, and you get a bunch of players who try a little bit harder because they want big contracts. All of a sudden, can a team win too many games to screw up next year or the year after for draft picks and everything else?
For sure. I had the conversation with a Flames friend of mine today, with the way the Calgary Flames are. Conroy, who's been with the organization forever, assistant traveling manager to the GM, to assistant
he's been
shiner
Costanza
to the
for
GM.
a long time. Yeah.
Oh, he paid his dues, and now he's the general manager of the Calgary Flames. The job he's been waiting for forever, and now he gets this big fucking steaming pile of shit. Like, what do you do? Like we said, you got Huberdeau for 8 years, and now you got Kadri for 6 years, and you got 6 free agents. So you want these free, and we're kind of fucked. We're never going to win. We're not going to win the cup with the way it looks, but I got to rebuild. I want to get as much as I can for all these free agents. So I want them to play really hard so I get good return on them. But if they play really hard, we're going to do kind of good and might
we'll
be
do too well.
Yeah, then we might be in a playoff spot come trade deadline. And then now even worse.
Even worse, we might be just out of a playoff spot come fucking February 28th or 29th, whatever fucking leap year you're in. Even worse.
The long range, what's best for the franchise is not squeaking into the 8th playoffs spot and then getting railroaded by the Vancouver Canucks in the first round
and then losing, right?
And then now all these free agents that were having career years are gone.
Are free agents now. They're gone.
And you don't have anything. You don't have any draft picks. You don't have any capital. You don't have any prospects. You don't have anything. And now you got a shitty fucking draft pick.
Again. See that again. And that's why I think right now, and I think every team should maybe listen to the 1420 Sports Bar podcast, is that if you're shitty right now, you're shitty. Like you're shitty. You're not going anywhere. Don't fake it. Yes, the St. Louis Blues of the 2019 Gloria year got it done. They won a championship, but that's a one-timer. That's a one-off. You are who your record says you are in National Hockey League. We talk about all the time that American Thanksgiving, which is next Thursday, it's the best day in the fucking sports. I love it. I wish I was. That's the one day a year I wish I was American. But you look at that, at what's going on in National Hockey League right now. If you're not good, you know what? You're not good. And right now, and most teams know, like I said, they're not winning a cup. And why owners, and yes, I understand that they might get 2 playoff dates, so it's more money in their pockets. They might get 3 playoff dates, more money in their pocket. But if you break things down and get a chance to get yourself 2 playoff rounds or 3 playoff rounds, we're not talking Toronto Maple Leafs because they make money hand over fist on everything else they do. So let's take them out of the equation, winning rounds. But there's teams right now who have a lot of assets that might do themselves a big favor by losing this year and losing hard. And the Calgary Flames are one of them, because the Calgary Flames they just signed on to get that new deal for the new building and everything else. So wouldn't it make sense right now for Craig Conroy to just say, yeah, you're out, you're gone, see you later, bye, and get the most you can right now, like not like June, not February right now. I mean, right now, get rid of your best players, because you don't want to win a bunch, because you want draft picks, because in 3 years you could sell you could sell to the fan base, new building, new team, new beginnings, on and on it goes. It's a marketing, to me, it's a marketing genius.
I think I agree with you 100%. Get what you can for every piece. Don't leave Don't leave any piece of fruit on that fucking tree. You let people pick it, and then you know what? If the price doesn't go up on trade deadline, it's like, okay, fuck, give me the pucks, take them, go get. And even if you're in a playoff seed, because if you're number 8, we're not gonna win, and all this shit is gone. And all this shit is gone. All these guys, like these 6 players are gone, and we don't have fuck all to replace it.
Trade them now.
You got to restock the shelves sooner or later, because this, like what we've been doing since forever, since Iginla and Rhett Warner and Kiprasov, those nothing.
That's 20 years ago.
And and we're talking win a fucking series. Like they're not licking the jar. Like
that's 20 years ago that happened.
Yeah, it's been so long, and the fans just clamor for it. And that city wants a winner so bad, and that city also looks at this team and doesn't see a winner. They know it's not a winner. So rip it down. Give them 5 years. And then wait for that new barn to open.
Right, like tomorrow morning, put out the fucking facts out there to the fucking NHL owners. Right, this guy's for sale. This guy's for sale. This guy's for sale. What are you offering? We're taking the best offer for Sunday night. Sunday night. I'm trading all these fuckers Sunday, because I don't want my team to win any more hockey games. I don't want to win any more games. As dumb as that sounds, it's as smart as it is, because I do not want my team to. We need to find, because we're getting a brand new building. Look at Edmonton; they got a brand new building. McDavid came in. They got They knew in Chicago that they're starting brand new. Bedard came in. I'm not saying in the next 3 years there's some kid coming out of junior, because I don't care. But in the next 3 years, there's going to be a quote unquote generational player. So why not give your fan base something to grasp onto, because you're not winning this year and you're not winning next year. You're not. So when you get a brand new building, why not just say, you know what? Let's go for it. Why not?
I hear you, because this new building is going to need to fucking sell tickets, right? Do you want your season ticket base? Is like, fuck it. I've been a season ticket holder for 35 years. Fuck it. If these guys don't want to show me a product that I want to pay for, then why would I do it?
Because prices are going to go up. Because prices are going to go up for this new fucking building. So you know what? So I better have a better fucking product if you want me to pay more money for these fucking tickets.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about the Sky Suite and the corporate boxes because those guys are going to buy
Does
theirs.
Johnny One know the 200s?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, I'm going to say the good seats, whatever. Like, so in the Saddledome right now, it's $110 ticket for one game. But that in the new barn, that's going to be $175 ticket, and it's like, get fucked. And I would imagine a lot of those tickets are owned by a couple buddies and their families, right? Like there's 4 tickets that 3 families own. So sometimes it's the men, sometimes it's the family.
Off, whatever off.
Exactly. But is it even fucking worth it anymore with this shit they're putting on the ice year after year after year?
With nothing to look forward to.
With nothing to look forward to. I'm just going to games for the sake of going to games. Why don't I just put them on SeatGeek and sit in my basement and watch the first period till I know they're fucked. If the game's good, I can do it. But I'm not paying $12 for a beer, and I'm not going out. I'm not going out and scraping my windows after the game. I'm gonna fucking scratch my balls, brush my teeth, and go to bed.
I don't think and I don't. Once again, I do pretend to be the smartest guy in the room all the time. That's kind of what one of those things. But I don't know how. I guess actually, you know what? Different thought here. Craig Conroy isn't losing his job.
No,
he is not losing his job. He's there as long as he wants that job. He's like, if the Flames fail this year, like whatever.
Oh, he has a 5-year run for sure.
He's a 5-year run, but he has an opportunity right now to go. Okay, you know what? Let's build to 2027, which is only 3-4 years from now. And let's see what we can do and get a franchise together and get a team that might win a Stanley Cup, and get the next Connor, because apparently everybody who's Connor is a great hockey player. And get the next Connor and see what can happen, because we've been licking the jar, kind of sort of, for a long time. And
on the playoffs, the Flames haven't been licking any jar.
No, they've been licking the getting in jar. Oh, they've been competitive. They've been mediocre. And what does mediocrity get you, Dave? Mediocre. And so I don't know why he doesn't go to the Flames brass and say, listen, man, like, we're not very good. And how the owners can't see that. Like, owners aren't stupid, or maybe they are, because all they see is dollar signs, but they don't see dollar signs 5 years from now. Because if you win more games, you get more people, and then more people following on and on and on. But every team that doesn't win, and you have free agents, I honestly believe that the selling time is now, not at the trade deadline. Because you know what? At trade deadline, teams are desperate, really desperate. But right now, you can sell guys really high as well, because you can get guys going, okay, we're pretty good, and if I get a guy in here and there, we might be able to make it work a little bit more. Not because rarely do trade deadline deals work out, because it's too quick of a transition. If you make it, if you get a who's a name out there, if you get a Chris Tanev going back to Vancouver right now, he can get in a Rick Tocchet system. He can figure shit out, and on it goes. Like, let's just not be rushed into it. Would it not make a better deal right now and strike while the iron's hot, because you have teams that think they have a chance? There's more teams that think they have a chance right now than will come fucking March 1st.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, no. I completely hear what you're saying. But, once the rubber hits the road, and then, like, after the course of now 50 games as opposed to 15 games, which these teams are playing, it becomes more apparent where your weak spots are. Like, we want this player or this player. What are we ready to lose? What are we ready to trade? That kind of thing. And then obviously at this time too, because the later you go in the season, the more salary cap money. That's going to prevent a lot of trades from happening as well. Yeah. Right? Unless Calgary is willing to eat salary when they pull these things. Well, I try. And then also too, like
I never thought of that. Yeah, I forget
as
about
risky
salary cap. Yeah,
as risky as it is for your potential free agents to get hurt. What about other teams that might have an injury? Like, what if Drew Doughty goes down in LA, who's putting together, who looks like a real team right now? Like, say
Real team.
Doughty's going to be gone for whatever. Then your TANF might be a lot better looking piece. Right now, the asking price just went up a shit ton because LA wouldn't have to worry about Doughty's salary, and then B, you're not going to have a Doughty, but at least you have a TANF, which is better than a fucking Zadorov. The biggest fucking meathead on that fucking free agent thing is the only one that says, I want to trade me right fucking now.
Wow, it was crazy how that all.
What a
when
fucking
his
moron!
agent decided to tweet that out last Friday night when they
Jesus
after they lost the
Christ.
Leafs.
Are you new? We're gonna trade you. Don't worry. You don't have to ask.
Yeah,
for
we
it.
know. Yeah, we're trading you like this, and people blame the agent, but I have a hard time believing that agents do things on their own, considering what they get paid. They're told what to do. It's like actually, I just thought of this. It's like Denny Lemieux from Slapshot. Trade me right fucking now and hang up. What? I can't remember that. It's one of those things. Oh yeah. So swear at it. It's such a fine line between when to trade a guy and not trade a guy, when to give up on your season, when not give up on your season. But and you want to make the playoffs, but you don't want to make the playoffs. But I think it comes down to marketing. What has to happen with the Flames and a lot of teams, like just say like the future's
setting
now,
reasonable expectations.
The future's not now. The future's in 3 years. New building, new hope, new whatever you might want to do it, and maybe we'll be the headliner there at the new building in Calgary there to talk it all up. But I think the Flames in general, and I think a lot of teams when you're done, sell now, man, sell now, and be a compromising participant in trades because it might help you later on.
Well, you and we were doing the podcast, I believe, when the New York Rangers put that letter out and saying, "Hey guys, it's rip down time. Yeah, Lundqvist is gone. We're gonna do some shit. Buckle up." And that was only 2 years, and they're back. Like
they're real good.
They're real good.
12, 3-1, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know what? It always helps. You know, Shesterkin. Like, where did they get him? In the fucking draft, right? I would imagine the Oilers had a sniff at him before the fucking Rangers drafted him because no goalie goes in the first round anymore. Like, fuck. There you go. Oilers, you draft Shesterkin whenever the Rangers drafted him, and you might be sipping out of Lord Stanley.
Yeah.
You very well might be. Like, grab a goddamn goalie. Fuck.
Yeah, I never think through like in fuck it. I never ever. I mean, it's different now than it was 10, 12 years ago. Admitting you're wrong is not a bad thing, and you could probably admit to that now, Dave, as well. When we were younger, you never want to say I was wrong, right? You'd make excuses and blah blah blah. But now you're like, just say you're wrong and start over. It doesn't hurt, right? And the Calgary Flames have been wrong. The Toronto Maple Leafs have been wrong. The fucking Vancouver Canucks have been wrong. And Vancouver admitted a couple years back that they were wrong. And now look what they're doing. They're right now, arguably right now. I'm not saying they're in junior.
Not arguably, like by statistics, they're the number one team in the Western Conference
right now. Like Jerry Bettman's not fucking handing the cup today, but it's right now they're the best team in hockey. So it's okay to admit that you're wrong. And the fan bases will forgive you when you go, you know what, it didn't work, but make sure you deliver. But don't keep doing what you're doing. 1989 is a long time ago in Calgary.
Yeah, and you know, and that's just the perfect statement for Alberta professional hockey. Like the Oilers and the Flames have been shit for so fucking long. And they just, now that they have every now and then you get a little sniff of being good, licking the jar, and everybody buys right back in. and they're not doing anything different. They're just fucking got different pigs with lipstick on them.
You wonder what it's like. We're heading out to Toronto in January, I think it is, for Deanna to go see her grandparents and stuff. And I might sit back at the Loose Moose pub, and I want to just hear, because the Loose Moose is a great little spot there in Toronto, and I'm gonna sit in a back corner and just listen to what Leafs fans how they talk about their team compared to how we talk about our teams out here in Alberta. Because I bet it's the exact same thing. It's just but it's 21 more years of fucking like not doing anything.
And then are you going to hear them talk? Are you going to be eavesdropping on Leafs fans, or are you going to be eavesdropping on Raptor fans? I imagine there's as many, if not more, Raptor fans in out and about.
Well, the Raptors won. The Raptors won, so they're not angry. They're not jaded yet.
And they're the younger crowd. I got to imagine the demographic of basketball fan in Toronto.
They're not,
is
like,
gotta be
Leafs
20
fans
years.
are jaded to no end. I listen to it all the time upstairs, and I listen to it from her dad and listen to her brother, and on it goes, right. And what's funny is I laugh at Deanne and Peter and James a lot about. I've been around the Leafs a lot longer than any of you three, because I actually grew up with when my cousin played for Leafs back in the early 80s, the Ballard years. I said, I know it's not good. It's not good. But that's one thing that the Leafs have always tried to do, and it's been wrong, is that they've tried always to just be relevant instead of just going, you know what? We're not very good. We're not very good. And they've won one playoff round in 14 years, and they haven't won a cup since '67. And yeah, you have it, like the National Hockey League. You have to bottom out. You have to.
I would say every sport. Well, I won't know. That's baseball and basketball, right? Unless you get that generational talent, and you got to be a little bit lucky, and you need that a couple top 10 draft picks in a row, like 2 or 3 top 10
generational guys,
right?
Like
and then not
Chicago
even
with Taves
generational.
and Kane, right?
But when you're trading for a first round draft pick, pick number 7 is a lot fucking different than pick number 28. It's a huge difference.
That's funny you say that, Dave. I laugh a lot about. Well, I was a first round
pick.
Yeah, but you went 29th, and that guy went 31st. You're not. Who cares?
And you were 4 picks away from being the first in the second round, right? Yeah. So you were almost a second rounder.
Draft picks only matter. Like, some are big changes, but draft picks only matter top 5. After that, it's a crapshoot.
I'll give you top 10, but like you said, after that, it's an absolute crapshoot. I'll give you.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, it's just like I'll give you a third rounder. Like a third rounder, it might as well be a fucking fourth rounder. Because you guys are making a run for the cup, and you're going to be drafting 30th, and then now I get the 90th pick. Like, and then like the 90th pick's a lot.
That's a very good point, Dave. Right? Nobody ever trades a top 5 pick. They'll go 6, 7, 10. Yeah, fuck, whatever. Nobody ever trades a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ever. Ever.
We'll give you a second round. Fuck you. You guys are winning the cup. I don't want the fucking 58th pick. I want this. I'll take the 28th.
You're already in first place in the league, and I'm going to be drafting in the 30th. I'm going to get fucking I'm going to get Jasper Van Robies, who hasn't put a pair of skates on in his life, in the first round. Well, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to besmirch your son, but
but give me
I wouldn't draft Jasper in the first round, but yeah.
Give me a prospect in the first, because you know what? There's by everybody's own admission, there's 30 players better than the one I'm going to get from fucking you.
30 players. You have no idea.
And I'm giving you someone that's going to help you win right now. So 100%. Fuck you and your first round pick. Give me a prospect and a pick.
Dave, now that you're a publicized writer here, I want to give me one of your best tonight. Would you rather from the notebook that you've been writing in for the 3.5 years we've been doing this stupid show. I want to hear it. You know what? Before we get to that, I feel a little bit bad for the Bengals because they were my first fuck that team, but because Joey Burrow's hurt now and they're getting stomped tonight, man. That team is fucked. They're fucked.
They're fucked. I told you not to buy in, even though I love, you know how much I love Joe Cool. I love Joe Cool, but I said this team doesn't deserve us. They got a shitty owner, and I'm glad the karma is coming and biting them in the ass. Yeah, they're fucked. They're fucked. I have always been a Lamar fan.
Would you rather? Let me hear that.
Look, my would you rather is a 3-parter tonight.
Oh, a 3-parter.
A 3-parter. One, like it's. I'm gonna give you names, and I'm gonna say, would you rather have this career, or this career? One for the NBA, one for Major League Baseball, and one for NHL. We're not doing NFL because that one's a little too hard. So I'm going to start with the NBA because neither of us give a shit about that game. But would you rather have the career of big shot Bob Horry or present NBA superstar, malcontent, often traded